Okay, everyone. We still see quite a few people trickling in, but it is 11 on the West Coast, so we will go ahead and get started. We're hoping to have a guest join us shortly, so hopefully he jumps on as well. But let's go ahead and get started while we have you. So thanks for being here as always. Today we're going to answer all of your burning questions about how law firms can generate and really convert more leads into high quality clients. So in case we haven't met, I'm Cara Pryor. I'm the president of James Publishing. I am also the founder of our Marketing Amplifier program. And we really are going to dive into your questions about how, it looks like Bill's joining us now, which is great, about how, to kind of overcome the biggest client acquisition challenges that come up with small law firms, right? So as many of you know, during these Wednesday sessions, we like to keep things brief. We're going to pack a lot into the next 30 minutes or so. And many of you have already submitted some great questions, which I appreciate, but feel free at any point throughout the session, go ahead and use the Zoom chat to ask any additional questions that you might have. We'll get to as many of those as we can, and we will certainly answer those as they come in. So, personally, I really talk to dozens of attorneys every week, and really the number one concern that I hear sort of over and over again is finding enough new business, right? I mean, understandably, law firm owners, you guys are worried about generating enough clients, and really it's not all that surprising, given the fact that, frankly, there are more lawyers than are actually needed in this country, right? And most lawyers really kind of fail to visibly distinguish themselves. And also many, I might actually say most attorneys are sort of uninterested in the details of legal marketing. So, that really does create some challenges. So, Bill, are you with us? I see you. I see your logo there. There he is. Yeah. Yeah. So everyone, welcome Bill Hauser. He's the founder of SMB team. He's an absolute pro in this area. He's really constantly helping attorneys pretty dramatically grow their businesses and really operate like entrepreneurs. So Bill, thanks for being here.
Oh man, I'm so excited. This is my favorite topic. So I call it lead abundance. And I think it's the holy grail, right? Because there's only so much you can do if you have 5 leads coming in per month, or 10 or 15. You can only do so much improvements on your intake process on 15 leads a month, right? And at some point we have to kind of upgrade our thinking to the next level, which is, how do I become recession proof in my practice and just get so many leads coming in that I stop focusing on these little kind of shuffling chairs on the Titanic activities, like little things that aren't going to really have a measurable impact, and actually just turn on the lead spigot, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about. So just to clarify my understanding of this, Cara, I'm going to first go for about 20, 30 minutes, and then we're going to do Q&A for the second half. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's perfect, Bill. And we have some questions that have already been submitted ahead of time. So we have a nice little well there. But Bill, I'll just kind of let you take it. I know this is obviously, really in your wheelhouse. And, I hear from attorneys all the time who they're just worried about generating enough business, and they feel handcuffed. They don't really know kind of where to go from there. So, let us know your thoughts there, and we'll get into some questions after.
Yeah. So first of all, for those of you on right now, I want you to stand up for a second. Bear with me, because it's really hard. It's really hard to grow your law firm in a low energy state, right? So you're not going to grow your law firm in front of a computer like, I want to grow my law firm and, get more cases and just sit hunched over typing all day. You got to get energized, okay? The marketplace needs to know who you are. So the first thing I want everyone to do, and you're going to be crazy to the people next to you, is just practice the natural form of marketing, which is this. 3, 2, 1. Hey! Try that with me real quick from the gut. Hey!
Hey!
Yeah, that's called awareness marketing, okay? Just saying, hey. Now, if we get articulate with our heys, thank you for the participation, everyone. If we get more articulate with our heys, we can say hey on all the major websites on the internet, right? We can now say hey on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, right? And some of our heys are going to be on video and others are going to be on written word. But those are really the two dominant formats right now, is video or written word. Within written word, we have PDFs, we have ebooks, which James Publishing is great at, doing the written word like that. And then we have the video side of the equation, which is where there is a higher barrier to entry for most attorneys because they're afraid to get on camera, right? Or you think you don't know enough about getting on camera to say, hey, in a way that gets attention. Now, saying hey is what people with the biggest marketing budgets do, right? So I've interviewed most of the law firm owners in the United States doing over $100 million in revenue. The Mike Morses, the Glenn Lerners, the Morris Barts, the Michael DeMeos, et cetera. And these guys have a different mindset, right? So they have larger budgets than you likely, right? So they're able to spend millions on marketing. And they're able to get by using, slapstick humor in some of their commercials and, just general awareness marketing where people just kind of faintly remember the name of their firm. But that's pretty expensive, right? And it's hard to get a return on investment from that on a low budget. So it's either like you go all in and spend millions a year on that, or you can get more intelligent by catering to the fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations of your market. So that's the FFWA framework, which is the holy grail of legal marketing as it comes to generating cases, right? So I want you to think through for a moment, not what am I interested in, right? When it comes to my practice area, my geographic area, I want you to completely take yourself out of the equation, right? And think to yourself, what are the fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations, FFWA, of my target client, right? And if you could just depersonalize yourself for a minute and think, I do family law, and I've been saying most experienced, years of da-da-da-da-da, all these badges, right? But does that speak to a father whose real fear is I'm never going to be respected by my kids again? Because that's who you're actually selling legal services to, right? So when you look at the people who get this, like Ben Glass, for example, I was emailing yesterday, Ben Glass, you go to his website, on the homepage of his website, it says, helping people find answers to their legal questions. That's it, okay? That's what people actually want when they're searching for a lawyer. They actually just want answers to their legal questions. However, most lawyers sell marriage at the first point of contact, right? It's like, you visited my website and bam, here's all the reasons I'm amazing and all this stuff. And it's like the person doesn't even submit their information because it's like, you're not even speaking to me anymore, right? So this is why I'm going to talk to you about the concept of serializing. I know it sounds weird, but I'll explain it. Serializing just one or two needs of your market, okay? So I want you to think about this for a minute. If you are a bankruptcy lawyer, you could go just create tons of content on the internet. You could film videos, you could write blog posts, you could put social media posts up, ebooks, etc., around the word bankruptcy lawyer, okay? Now, that would be a mistake because that's just a tiny piece of the market, the people who are typing in bankruptcy lawyer, and chances are, since that's what's called a hardship vertical, hardship meaning someone's going through a hard time in their life, when they're going through bankruptcy, it's going to be really hard to market to that niche audience if the word bankruptcy lawyer is in your ads. Whether it's Facebook, YouTube, the ad is probably going to get disapproved if the word bankruptcy lawyer is in it, except on Google Ads, because that's direct intent search and SEO. So all the other things, like if you want to market on Instagram or these other, more cheap platforms, you have to get creative, right? You have to think, what do the people really want in bankruptcy? Well, they actually really want debt relief, right? They actually want to get out of debt. And the number one pain point, if you survey a bankruptcy audience, does anyone do bankruptcy in here? Give me a yes in the chat if anyone in here does bankruptcy. I just want to see for a second. Just give me a quick yes in the chat or a no. Let me just see you're alive, but give me a yes or a no if you're not bankruptcy. Give me your practice area, actually. Just type your practice area into the chat so that I can cater this to your practice area and give you, niche intelligence based on what works for your practice area. Okay, I'm going to keep going down bankruptcy for a minute. So bankruptcy, I see business and transactions. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate that. If anyone else wants to type in, we can see it on our end, whatever you type into the chat, okay? So business and transactions, I'll go into that in just a second. Bankruptcy, the real need is not bankruptcy lawyer. It's get me free of debt, okay? It's I need the creditors to stop calling me. That's it. That's the number one pain point of the bankruptcy audience. Okay. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Kara. Oh, sorry. I saw this, the real Kara. But in bankruptcy, you can get so much further by serializing your content around that one concept of stopping the debt collectors from calling you. So serialization is the concept of how can I create a group of pieces of my marketing content, okay, that go after that one pain point. So can I create a YouTube video that says what to do if the debt collectors don't stop calling you in state name, okay? Now we could think of another variation of that, okay? 5 mistakes made when a debt collector calls you when you respond to them. Something like that. So see how we took the same concept and we did 5 mistakes made and how to get them to stop step by step. It's the same kind of concept, but it's been hit from 2 different angles, mistakes and how to, right? Now, a mistake a lot of lawyers make is they'll say, I do 15 practice areas and I'll just put out 15 zoomed out pieces of content on those practice areas. And I won't actually make content that's geared to my target audience and go deep on one thing, right? So we see this in immigration. We see this in a lot of different verticals of law is the most successful ones. We were talking to Jim Hacking yesterday at Maximum Lawyer, and he built a 33,000 YouTube subscriber channel on immigration. And all he does is go into very thin Q&A slices on his YouTube channel of immigration pain points, right? So let's use family as an example, right? Family law. You would be better off going all in on custody if you were to do a content marketing strategy on YouTube, Instagram, etc., than you would just going after 1,000,001 different family law concepts. Similarly, on business law, right? You would want to choose at least 3 layers down what niche you want to go after. I'll give you an example. I have a business law client that I coach, and her name's Sheila, and she originally was marketing herself as a business lawyer. So all I did was ask her 3 questions, the 80-20 rule times 3, right? So what 20% of the market has 80% of the demand that you can serve? So she answered that and she said, mergers and acquisitions. I said, okay, so one of the niches you want to market is mergers and acquisitions, M&A, right? Okay, great. What 20% of the M&A audience has 80% of the irrational demand that you can serve, right? And she said, well, it's actually for SaaS companies. Okay, so within just me asking those 2 questions, we went from business lawyer down to the next level, which is M&A, which is actually SaaS company M&A. So then my next question to her was, what do SaaS company business owners, the decision makers you would serve, what are they actually interested in when it comes to M&A in a SaaS company? And she replied, SaaS company valuation. Very simple. That's what they're interested in. What's the value of a SaaS company? How to value a SaaS company? What's a reasonable value of SaaS? So we go on Google, we start typing in SaaS company valuation keywords, and there's these educational sites there that have very low traffic, right? And there's this huge content marketing opportunity for her to just swarm and blanket nationwide SaaS company valuation, which can become an educational lead magnet tool that she could create a ebook, right, on SaaS company valuation. That ebook could be used as an attention getter for a slice of her market that's the most ready to buy that she can serve most scalably in her firm, right? And she can use that as a marketing asset to tune out the clutter, right? And only attract those that she wants to work with, right? So does that make sense? Is this making sense, Kara?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, and when you talk about video specifically, Bill, like you're right on the money with just start, I mean, attorneys, you guys know what, you guys know the most about your kind of target audience, right? And your target market and those pain points, just sit down and just make a list of the common questions that you get all the time and start shooting these videos. It doesn't need to be this high production value, you need to have this perfect setup. In this, Zoom age, right? We've grown so accustomed to seeing our nation's top professionals, right? I mean, our government officials coming to us live from Zoom. It doesn't need to be something super, impressive visibly. It's about getting your knowledge and getting your information out there to your prospects. So yeah, I mean, I think what you're saying definitely makes a lot of sense, Bill.
Yeah, and it's the cheapest way to do it, right? This is how, if you study, we're holding a summit at the end of this month, and Ali Awad, CEO lawyer, has 500,000 followers on Instagram. Mark Wasserman, who you were on the Law's Business Show with, Mark Wasserman, he also has 500,000 followers on Instagram, and we're doing a panel with both of them. And when I was talking to them yesterday, it's so funny. They follow the same exact strategy. Like, they don't really talk much about their practice area on social media.
Right.
Okay. They actually just make content that applies to the cohort of human being that they serve, whatever their vertical is. And that's it. And they just are honest about who they are, and they communicate in a way that's relatable to their niche markets. And I was texting Ali Awad yesterday, CEO lawyer, actually read exactly what he said to me. He said he had his best case month ever last month, and he brought in 50 signed cases. I'm sorry, best week ever. He brought in 50 signed cases in 1 week in personal injury. 50 signed cases in 1 week in personal injury, right? And he doesn't have a multi-million-dollar advertising budget, okay? Or at least he didn't originally, right? And he does it all through Instagram, because this is the blue ocean right now. The blue ocean is the content marketing stuff, right? That's where nobody's taking massive action, right? So I share this because, like, you already know the answers to your next big marketing move. Like, you are the best expert of what your target audience, what's going through their heads, right? So I call this the word alignment marketing method, the WAM method, W-A-M method. The word alignment marketing method says that if you can align the words that you use in your marketing with the words going through the brains of your client, right, you can control any marketing platform, right? And it comes from the words. Knowing the words going through your client's head is FFWA, fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations. And the words that you use to communicate to your client's FFWAs is your unique selling propositions, right? So you get into word alignment when the marketing messages you're putting out actually align with the actual deep-seated fears that your clients have, right? So an example, unique selling proposition. This is a $10,000 an hour task, right? Perry Marshall, he released a document that actually codified. Actually, I'll see if I can get my team to give it for you. Hey, can you get me the $10,000 an hour Perry Marshall chart? Just ask them in there. They'll know. So there's this chart that Perry Marshall made, and it's like, it basically codifies what your hourly rate is. Trying to see if it's around me, for all these different tasks. And the highest level tasks on this chart, it shows you what your $10,000 an hour tasks are. 1,000, 110. It's mind-boggling. You got it? Oh, nice. Okay.
That was fast.
Here's what it looks like. Can you guys see that?
It's a little tough to read, but yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Okay, so like $10,000 an hour tasks, improving your unique selling proposition, creating new and better offers. $10 an hour tasks, checking email, cleaning, sorting, driving to meetings, right? Okay. Repositioning your message and position, creating new and better offers, selecting team members, public speaking, negotiating with a qualified prospect, $1,000 an hour, delegating complex tasks, $1,000 an hour. Okay. Now the ones to avoid are these $10 an hour bad boys, right? Running errands, talking to unqualified prospects, cold calling, building and fixing website stuff, expense reports, attending meetings, right? Spelling everything perfectly is the last one it says. So I find it so interesting because the concept here is that most lawyers, when I ask lawyers, how many of you spent time in the last month crafting your unique selling proposition? I'll get like 2 yeses in the chat, right? And then people like Kara and myself who do more branding focused things, I know personally, I spend probably 30% of my week on unique selling proposition formation. Like we have this summit coming up. I probably spent 6 straight hours yesterday framing the event. How do we want the event to feel? What's the theme of the event that we're holding? How are we going to frame this speaker's topic? And how is it going to be different from that? And it's all framing, right? It's literally all unique selling proposition formation. So the whenever we hit a wall in our marketing where we're like, what do we do next? We have this rule at our company. It's like, it's the offer, right? Like it always come back to the offer, right? So when we're talking about, is your unique selling proposition, does it make any sense here? And we'll tie this together in just a few seconds. So bear with me, or a few minutes. The unique selling proposition side is where you codify your value in what's called a value stack. So a value stack, right? Russell Brunson came up with this concept. He learned it from one of his mentors. He's one of the co-founders of ClickFunnels, one of the top landing page platforms out there. And Russell Brunson, when he started opening up about the value stack, it took the internet marketing world away by storm, right? And everyone started doing value stacking in their presentations and sales processes. So a value stack looks like this. It's basically what it sounds like. It's a line item stack of all the value that you provide to your clients, right? Itemized with a hyphen and then how much that's valued at, right? That's a value stack. And then you add all that up and that's the total value of the package, right? But today only, we're giving you X dollars off on all this value and you can get it today for X. This is like infomercial 101, right? You can criticize it all you want, but it works, okay? And I'm telling you from experience, it works. And it's your actual duty to convey the value that you give the clients in a way where they can understand it as a not knowing consumer, right? So the opposite of a value stack is this, is feeling at the end of an intake call, the client, you have a good call with them, and you tell your staff, you're like, well, they laughed at the end of the call. And they said they liked me, and they came from a referral. So they're definitely going to sign up, That's called you just being another lawyer, right? Oh, we do this, we do services for people. Are you going to sign up now? This is the worst. When a sales call ends bad for a lawyer, it ends like this. So, do you have any questions for me? Yeah, what's the price? That's when you know you ruined your intake call, right? So instead, you'd be better off going, hey, at this point in the call, this is called the confidence close. I'm confident in our ability to impact your objectives. Are you? Great. Then I don't see any reason why we can't move forward with this. Do you mind if I share with you all the value that we provide here at our law firm and how that's different from our competition that you're going to have an impulse of wanting to go look into? But right now, I'm going to show you why you shouldn't even look into them, and you should do this now so we can get to solving your problem. Do you have a minute? Right? There's just no aggression in law firms. Everyone's like, well, I think they'll follow up with me if my reputation's good. It's like, come on. Like, where's the hunger? You know? So value stacking is how you can actually convey value in a scalable way so that your right fit client close rate increases. Now, I'm not saying you have to do it like an infomercial, but being able to convey that, hey, when you work with our firm, you get X benefit. Okay, meaning maybe you could frame the fact you have an answering service as a 24/7 hotline or something, right? You could frame the fact that you do a more thorough discovery process in the case as discovery strategy session something, right? You could, if you do like client experience stuff for your law firm clients, like giving them video updates or email updates every week or month throughout their case. Are you conveying that in itemized value, or are you just expecting them to know all the value that you provide? So what I say is just audit your case management and client experience process as it stands now. And all I need you to do is find 2 things that you consistently do. They don't even have to be that unique. Things that you do when you're dealing with clients that you believe are the right thing to do, and then just line item them -value. Line item -value, right? You can create one PowerPoint deck slide, and you can implement this into your sales process so that the clients who do call you convert at a higher rate. Now, the other way to do this as a unique selling proposition is in your marketing, right? So not in the sales process. So in the marketing process, let's say we create a video on YouTube, which anybody here can do right now. And you're lucky, I actually may do this. I may force all of you to make a video right now and post it right now. So just make sure you're paying attention because I may do that randomly. Okay, so making a video on YouTube. Let's say you want to rank for the keyword, how to eliminate your debt in state name, right? That's the title of the video. On the second half of the title of a YouTube video, that's where you want your unique selling proposition for that specific video to be. So what real pain point are you going to solve with this video or Instagram post or ebook, whatever content piece you're putting out? What problem are you really going to solve for that? How to get, it would be like how to eliminate debt in X state name. And then it would be a vertical line. And then the second half of the YouTube video or ebook headline or subtext of the headline would be something like 5 important lessons learned from a veteran on debt relief in X state, right? That's a little promise tied to whatever it is you're trying to have that video rank for, right? That applies to whatever the client is about to download, right? So just think about this for yourself. Think, is there anything unique about my law firm on the internet? Is there any, like if I was a forensic scientist and I was tasked by one of my competitors to analyze and provide a completely objective report back to my competitor or to anyone in my market, and there's this objective report of your law firm. And the report comes out, it's a 1-pager, and it says average, below average, above average, spectacular. Where would you rate, right? When it comes to, is there anything unique conveyed about you on your website or your social media platforms or whatever, right? And then similarly, is that also conveyed through every piece of your marketing, not just through your website and everywhere else, on just one individual platform, right? Because that won't last. So again, ask yourself, where do I rate on the uniqueness scale, and am I applying to my clients' true fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations in all aspects of my marketing. This costs nothing to do, guys. The number one thing, if you want to get started today on this, is you pull out your phone, okay, which I actually don't have because it's charging in the other room, so you're lucky. You pull out your phone, you think, what am I going to make a video on today? You pull out the phone, you do not edit it, right? Let's say you want to make a video on debt relief secrets from a bankruptcy lawyer with 20 years experience. Okay, stop thinking, make the video, right? Film the video. Hey, I have 20 years experience helping people through bankruptcy, and one of their top questions every time I come to it is how to get the debt collectors to stop calling. Okay, then you go through the why, what, how, what if framework. Why, what, how, what if. Why is this video important? What we're going to talk about is how is the how-to, step by step. What if is what to do next, right? The call to action. That's the educational content script, right? You cannot go wrong with why, what, how, what if. Hey, in this video, I'm going to go through how to get debt collectors to stop calling. Why is this so important? Because you know it's the biggest hit to your self-confidence right now. Every minute you try to think about, different things in your financial situation, and that reminder comes on 24/7. You get another call. And it's like you can never escape your current financial reality. That's why it's so important that in this video, I'm going to show you how 5 steps to overcome blah, 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 blah. Now, what we're going to talk about, what we're going to talk about is first, the 3-step, da, 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 da. Next is the 2-step, da, 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 and the next one is the 2-step, da, 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 da. Okay, let's dive in. Here's how to do it. Step 1, da, 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 da. Step 2, da, 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 da. Step 3, da, 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 da. Okay? Now, what if, this is the what if section, what if you're in this situation? Do that. What if you're here? Do that. And what if you're ready to do it right now? Well, call my law firm or leave a comment below and we'll reach out to you. That's it. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to watch the video back and go, I suck. The only way to get good at videos is through quantity. So if you want to, and I have 2 law firms. I have Diane Bass right now, someone I work with. She now has over 100,000 views on a PPP loan fraud video that she made. We went to Google Trends. We found what is a trending topic right now. PPP loan fraud actually was something we found. Like people were worried that they were going to be popped for fraud for taking too much PPP loans or something. She makes a video on YouTube on it. Now it's it's one of the most popular videos on all of YouTube on PPP loan fraud. You can type that keyword in on YouTube and see her video. She got from one video, I think 2,000 subscribers-ish from scratch. She like no views on her prior videos. Now every video she posts, she gets a lot more views because she built her subscriber base from that one viral video. Because again, she hit the fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations of that white collar business niche that she was trying to get in front of with her criminal defense firm with PPP loan fraud. Similar, Lance Fryer did this strategy, who's also someone I work with. And all he did is like do it on criminal defense. And now I think over 22% of his signed cases come from YouTube. You can type that in too. Lance Fryer, F-R-Y-R-E-A-R. Just funnel hack these people, right? They're doing it right in front of you. They're just not making excuses and they're sticking through with their content commitment, right? So all I need to see on an Excel sheet is these are the 10 videos I'm going to make. And then I need you to actually follow through with it. It's really that easy. And then just post the videos and just like put, the things they put on a dog's face, like when they can't bite themselves, like that cone. Do that with your video. Like just turn around and then like, don't let yourself look back at the computer, right? Or you're going to try and go edit the video. I want you to post the video if you misspell things or missay things or stutter or there's a hiccup in the beginning, just because you got to get used to quantity, right? Then after you get used to quantity and you're used to that, okay, great. Then we can start going back, editing the thumbnails, all that stuff on YouTube. Don't worry about that though. Action, 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 action. Same thing goes for ebooks. We follow the 2-hour rule when it comes to ebooks, right? I wrote last year, we created 16 lead magnets for our company last year. I don't know, I lost count, 16 to 20 lead magnets, a lot of which are ebooks. Here's how we create an ebook. Breaking news. I get an email from my team if there's something that they think is breaking news, or I see it myself. I drop what I'm doing that evening. I put on a 120-minute timer. I write the ebook, and I force myself to stop writing the ebook after 2 hours. Time, it's Parkinson's law, right? The task will fill to the time you give it, right? So just make it a fun game. Hey, I'm going to give myself no more than 15 minutes to do this video. I'm going to give myself no more than 15 minutes to edit the copy on my website. I'm giving myself no more 15 minutes to create maybe just not even an ebook, maybe a one-pager. Like the amount of attorneys, like in mass torts, as another example, one PDF, 5 steps, what to do in response to firefighting foam causing health problems for you. It's one PDF. Put it up on Facebook ads. You'll start capturing email addresses. You can turn that into cases later. So again, it's action. Momentum creates momentum. We don't need perfect. We need out the door, out the door, out the door, out the door. The momentum here is how many things can we ship out the door in a month? Because only expect 2 of every 10 things to work. So momentum.
Yeah. And Bill, I would argue too, you know, some of those ums and ahs and slight missteps, I mean, that just brings more, you know, trust. It really brings some, you know, authenticity, and, you know, don't worry about that kind of stuff. I completely agree. And, you know, as part of our Marketing Amplifier program, we actually will help you shoot videos every single month. So, you know, we hop on Zooms with you, similar to what Bill and I are doing. If you need a little extra help with that accountability, we'll, you know, every month we'll interview you, we'll give you some topic ideas. So just know if you need a little extra help, you can reach out. Okay, so this first question, Bill, this was something that was submitted ahead of time. I think it's very relevant. So if I give away my knowledge, why would a prospect hire me? Won't they just handle their legal matter on their own if they already have all the information needed? I think this is a silly excuse. Prospects with a major legal issue who can afford your services, who can afford to pay your fees, they're not going to handle their legal matters solo. Because I mean, they've likely already tried to make the issue go away, right? And clearly haven't been successful in that. And I would also argue they probably know better than to think that they can sort of acquire the appropriate amount of expertise in a rather complex topic by maybe reading a few articles or a booklet. So what's your response to that, Bill?
Yeah, it's good. Let them leave, right? Because the clients who are going to do it themselves are usually the least qualified, most pain in the ass, sorry for cursing, clients, right? So, you know, here's what happens. The more content you put out, the higher the quality of leads that reach out to you. So it's not, sometimes people go like, I did all this content. I did like more marketing, content marketing for my firm, and my leads didn't increase, right? And I'm like, well, congratulations, right? Because some people, like, if your leads increase with no granular control over, there's some vetting mechanism of sorts, right? Where the content can almost push away the clients that would have never been a good fit in the first place and just raise the tide of the quality per client. That's awesome, because I can assure you that every attorney I've talked to does not unanimously say, I want more phone calls, right? Because more phone calls can equal more problems if they're not good phone calls, right? So sometimes it's like, okay, great. Let's put out as much good stuff as we possibly have so we can let that DIY crowd just go be them, right? Because the people who have more money than they do time, they're going to hire you because they're going to see just enough information from that content to go, okay, well, I'm not going to do this on my own. I have more money than I do time. So I'm going to part ways with money, whether that's in contingency fee as a percentage of my case, or I'm going to part ways with money for a retainer based thing or hourly or whatever it is. I'm going to say bye to my money because I don't have time to do this. Those are the clients you want, right? And we see this now. Before we had a lot of content behind our brand, our net promoter score was crap. Like it was just like not good because, the average net promoter score, I found this out, Kara, the other day for an agency is 0. They studied 1,400 agencies, and the Backlinko, Brian Dean released this study, and they found the average net promoter score of an agency is 0, right? So that means that the large majority of people who work with a marketing agency would not recommend that agency to their friends or family, right? And the reason is primarily because of transparency, right? And we didn't know that. We didn't know that prior to, putting out free content. So we thought we had the same fear. Are people going to start implementing this on their own if we put out? I mean, we have, I don't know, 400 plus YouTube videos now on our channel, and the exact opposite has happened. The people who are right fit clients for us absorb the content just to become smarter, faster, sharper in their business, and they're just happier clients in general because we're giving them more value in addition to, just the core service that we provide.
Yeah, I mean, content is such a fantastic way to do some de-selling, right? And really qualify those prospects. Really let people know, there is some exclusivity to the services that you're offering, right? And it's not, you can't just help anyone. You don't want to help anyone. Who are you looking to help? Who can you help? And, kind of weed out, as Bill says, weed out those, those other folks before they even get to you or your team, to waste your time. So I agree. Any live questions, feel free to ask them. We have a bunch that were submitted on sign up. Another one, I have an email list of prospects and past clients. How can I use it to get more business?
Yeah, so email marketing is touchy. The first question is, when was the last time you emailed them? If the answer is it's been a really long time, then you want to use what's called a warm-up sequence, right? So you would want to, if it's a pseudo cold list, meaning it's someone who opted in a long time ago, the best strategy is to email them something free so that they can re-opt into your list consciously, right? Where you can run into problems is if someone hasn't received emails from you for years, and then all of a sudden they receive emails from you every day. That can be a problem if they're not expecting it. So what I'd say is use a quick warm-up sequence. MailChimp and HubSpot are two tools that we've used. I will say ActiveCampaign is another tool that you can use for email marketing, but it's a little more strict on the contacts you're able to upload to it. Like they want you to prove that these people, you have some form of documented proof that they opted in. MailChimp is a lot easier. You're able to upload just a list of contacts. So if you're sitting on a dormant list of contacts in MailChimp or in an Excel sheet or something, uploading it to MailChimp is usually going to be the easiest way to circumvent, the checks and balances that these email softwares have in place. So look into that. What's more important though is having a end goal of your email strategy, right? So the whole concept of newsletter, which is very popular in the legal community, it's great, but it's really just busy work if it doesn't end to something. If there's not an end goal to what is newsletter strategy, what does that mean for you? What intention and result are you looking for from a newsletter, right? So I would work backwards from what result would you want from email marketing? And also, separate from that, if you want to create a email marketing sequence that works rather than a newsletter that gets sent once a month, which is fine, it's better than nothing. And if it's intentional, it's good, right? If it's intentional. But we always drive someone to an action in an email. So the goal, we always say, is to get them off the email as quick as possible, right? So we do a lot of email marketing. Just last year, we sent just around 2 million emails last year. So we do a lot of email marketing. And I can tell you, the key is have every email you put out lead to a next step, whether it's registering for a webinar, booking a consultation, downloading an ebook. look at an email as one step of a funnel, right? How do you want to funnel this person from receiving your email to the next step, 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 and actually map it out? Like the highest value task I found in email marketing is a good old whiteboard. What is this email marketing plan going to look like, right? If you're looking to warm up referrals or get new clients, or client referral strategy will be different than an attorney referral strategy, right? You'd want to map out how that's going to look, and then your goal, the hardest thing, is to keep them short. That's the hardest thing to do, right? So as soon as you have it mapped out, think people are busy. Okay, the more work you put into your emails, the worse they'll do, right? So you want to put a lot of heart and good information in them, but you don't want to make them 40 paragraphs long because people are inundated with emails right now. Okay, so just again, there's a lot to this, but always have a directed call to action. Always have a macro sequence that you're putting your email marketing through. And if you use a newsletter, make sure it's intentional, that there is a clear goal tied to the newsletter.
Great stuff. And, you can always link to a video to convey some of the information rather than, as Bill says, writing, a 10 paragraph email. So that's also a good way of, set up, plan it out, strategize, set up a sequence that you can automate, that, you can use probably for years with just, some small tweaks. It will take some time up front, but it will definitely pay off. So, okay, this is a good question. It kind of moves from prospects to new clients. So my challenge is wowing my new clients. What can I do to make the client experience more memorable, especially at the beginning?
Oh man, this is good. Yeah, we're doing a client experience panel at this summit that we're doing at the end of the month. We literally just went through this with Billy Tarasio, and Billy Tarasio is going to be presenting there on how she implemented Net Promoter Score into her client experience process. Then we have another guy who implemented the whole four seasons client experience process into his law firm. It's crazy. It's crazy. You walk into his office and it's like you get it's like white glove service. You get like handed like a water bottle with your name on. It's just like the craziest thing ever. But it doesn't start there, right? So if you're looking like, how do I wow clients? The number one pain point I've heard in client experience is after they sign the contract, the client's expectations go like this. Their fear goes up. They don't really know the work you're doing. We see in PI, there's this constant miscommunication. Like when you set a big demand to an insurance company, they get big eyes. They're like, oh my God, they just asked the insurance company for $1 million, but they don't know that that's part of your negotiating process. So then when the end case comes in at 10 grand, they think you're, a not good lawyer, because all they saw that went to the insurance company was $1 million ask, right? So they don't understand that you're shooting high for the insurance company to come down low so that you can maximize their case value. So that's just one example of the importance of communication. So if you want to start wowing your clients, step one is this: send clients a gift after they sign up with you. It is so easy to do this, okay? So we use a company called Georgetown Cupcakes. So we send out a big thing of cupcakes to every client who signs up with us. We've actually automated it into our CRM to where the cupcake company gets notified. They then ship out a thing of cupcakes to the new client, and it all happens on autopilot, right? So that's one thing, sending a gift, right? The next thing that we've done is we've implemented, and this is us going from like, I don't know, a 20 net promoter score to now over 75 net promoter score consistently 2 quarters in a row now. And we have people sign expectations agreements. So when someone signs up with us, after they sign the contract, after they are quote unquote onboarded, in your world would be, intake process, after the full intake, right? And you collect all the info, we actually send them a one-pager expectations agreement. that says, hey, I know everything's exciting right now. I know you're getting super excited. Here are the expectations of what you just signed up for. Don't expect this. Da, 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 da. Here's our plan here. Da, 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 da. Boom. And then that's it. They have to sign this one-page PDF, and you will not imagine how far this goes, right? The third point I would say, so automated gifts. The third thing I would say is you want to make sure that the team members you have enough time to wow clients, right? So a lot of times this is a resource problem, right? So it's like if your team members just don't have the time to wow clients, right, then they're going to be too busy to, right? So we created a client experience standards document where we actually try to control the energy state of the team, right, before a client call. There's video standards. How do you need to be presented when you do a screen video? Because most of our videos through screen share. How much preparation needs to be done in place? What reporting standards will you be reporting to the client as updates on their case? We had one client, Lance, who I brought up before, rolled out a client video update process, right? So that every month a client will get a video summary of where they're at on the case with a second grade level explanation of where they're at on the case. But again, all this sounds great, but if you're a solo, right, and you don't build a team, it's like, just know client experience is going to suffer, right? So we have a 3 full-time person client experience team in-house here, and all they do is strategize and talk to clients. So I would recommend you start looking into that and ask, if you're having intake problems, ask, is someone dedicated to intake? If you're having client experience problems, ask, is someone dedicated to client experience? It always comes back to, where's the book? I don't have it with me, but the book is Who Not How by Dan Sullivan. So Who Not How is this book, like whenever there's a problem, train yourself to ask who do I need to solve this problem instead of how can I roll up the sleeves and work harder to get it done?
Yeah. And, when you talk about a solo, it being kind of a resource problem, there is, just like we had talked about the, email marketing with prospects, you're really kind of continuing that education with your new clients, right? Setting expectations, of course. There's so much that you can automate there too, fill that communication gap that can sometimes occur between, retention and when that visible work is actually done. Describe what the process is like, what your new client can expect of you in your office, and what will be expected of them. And it's almost combating that buyer's remorse in a way, right? So if they don't hear anything from you, unfortunately, they're going to assume that nothing is happening, despite the fact that you're hard at work on their case. They don't know that. You need to fill that communication gap that is so critical in really establishing that sort of positive first impression.
Can I add one thing here?
Of course, yeah.
So like to the point you just said, Kara, which is so right, is your clients, they don't know how hard you're working. So it's one thing to say like, I want to improve my client experience process, and I'm going to go spend 3 months designing a perfect interweb plan of what that's going to look like. Your client doesn't know. And 3 months later, they're going to go, they don't care about me. They're not going to know. So what I would discipline yourself to do, it's like this new phrase I keep saying is, if you want to think big, act small, right? So what can you do in 7 days right now, that costs you nothing, that you can get out the door quick, 80% out the door? What can I enforce in 7 days to increase my client experience process? Can I enforce one thing like a weekly or bi-weekly update email? That's it. It's just a standard that then you'd have to project manage and reiterate to your team. Costs you nothing. And if you can discipline yourself to make one client experience improvement in your firm in a 7-day window, then that becomes 2 in 14 days, 4 in a month. And over the course of, a few months, you'll have an entire step-by-step client experience journey built out by focusing small, laser-focused tunnel vision on what can you get out the door in 7 days.
Yep. Love it. Okay. So Bill, wrapping up, please tell everyone quickly how they can find you, how they can learn more about how SMB team can help grow their firm.
Oh man. I think I like to think that we spend a lot of money on ads. So hopefully you've seen one of the ads, but I'm always humbled because I know we really aren't as big as I fictitiously make myself feel we are. But yeah, we run a big talk show on Tuesday that's called the Laws of Business Mastermind Show. Yeah, that's probably the best way to follow up with us is tune into one of our Tuesday shows. Our mission is to just open the hood on all the crazy stuff that goes into scaling a law firm. So yeah, you can check that out at, I think it's eventbrite.smbteam.com is the link. But you can always shoot me an email directly, bill@smbteam.com. Yeah, so that Tuesday event's big. And then we hold quarterly summits too. So we have a big lawyer mastermind summit coming up at the end of this month, which I'm super excited about. We have 2 people with over 500,000 Instagram followers as lawyers showing how they did it. So that'll be fun. We have Craig Goldenfarb opening the hood on how he built a multi-8-figure practice and hired 10 attorneys, and he's going to show like his attorney hiring job description. So that summit, I think it's at growth.smbteam.com, GROWTH. I don't even know. The landing page just went up. So check it out there, growth.smbteam.com, and hopefully it pops up.
Good stuff. Yeah, Bill, we'll share all of these links with everyone after the show. So thanks as always, Bill. Such a pleasure. Really great stuff. I appreciate you being here, and thanks to everyone. So we'll see you all next week. Thanks.
Woo! Go say hey.